Hi Lawson, you'll be pleased to hear that the chassis repairs are finished and all looking very, very nice. I think when we turn this over, I think there's a little bit we've got to zip up on the top on the front frame horn, but that's all. So they're all done now. That's a fairly major task, as you know, putting those in. We've got to add, this end piece has been added on to make it a la 68. The bit inside here is from a 63, 67 car, and they need modifying for later vehicles, but it's all we can get, so that's all good. We've straightened out the dent that was in that that front cross member, and Ronnie's made new corners for the chassis rails here and let those in, and we've also fitted new gussets on those frame corners there, and they all look very nice. And of course your trailing arm pockets have been repaired, so we've taken this outer skin off, repaired the bit inside, and then welded the outer skins back on. We've also had a replacement body mount on that side, and we've cut out things like exhaust muffler hanger bracket holes and rear bumper bracket holes and whatnot. That's some of the old that we've taken off. You can see it's quite thin and pitted there, so that's been cut out. All looking very, very good. New body mount on that side as well, and the same repairs in the trailing arm pockets, and slightly less repair on that chassis rail, but some nonetheless. And also, as per the other side, a new frame reinforcement gusset. So she's nice and solid now. So that's been a fairly long and drawn out process, but it is. I mean, it's a huge amount of work. I mean, any of this, when you start getting into chassis repairs to this magnitude, it's quite involved. And the further you delve, the more you find. But anyway, that's all good now. So the plan is we're going to turn this over, zip up the two little bits on the top, and then we'll get this in the paint shop and spot prime our repairs, and then the whole thing we'll get another coat of primer and then a couple of coats of satin black. Once that's done, we can start building the chassis up. The only problem I do have is the front hub situation still, which I need to get on top of. I've got a feeling I'm going to wind up changing both front spindles for later spindles and using a set of later front hubs, but we shall see. Got your body up on our rotisserie here, so that's nicely supported, and now the chassis is done. When we get a chance, we're going to flip this over and start or carry on with the underbody repairs, and once they're done, we'll then let this down and start stripping the paint. So that will all come on. Give you a quick tour. The 66 that we had painted slowly gets put back together. We've had a 70 or 71, and that's arrived for a body off. And he's got similar problems to you. That as a guy who's not long had this and has got rot in the side chassis rails and all in the rear cross member. There's some rogue sellers out there, I tell you. That's a 1980 chassis, and then the 72. I think you've seen all this stuff. And this arrived a couple of days ago for a few bits and pieces of rear wheel bearing rebuild and a few other odds and ends. Nice car, but needs, by the time I've sort of gone through and seen exactly what it needs to bring it up to speed, it's still quite a lot of work there. So, but that'll be here probably for a couple of weeks, I guess. So there we are, quick wander through this maze of ramps and posts and whatnot, and then back to yours. So I'll get this online for you, you can have a look-see, and we'll start on the next phase. Take care.